Live to Jerusalem, where Foreign Minister Yair Lapid is joined by his Austrian counterpart. Let's take a listen.
Minister from Austria, also in English. Minister Lapid, please.
Israel, for the third time in a week, 5 people were killed cold-bloodedly with a policeman. Our hearts go out to those families. We pray for the recovery of those injured. We received a security assessment and decided to raise our alertness to the highest level and beef up our forces on the ground. The IDF will enforce forces in the West Bank and around the Gaza Strip, and we will also strengthen the police and the border police. The State of Israel needs a lot more police on the ground, and we will ensure that will happen. The purpose of terror is not just to kill innocents, but also to cause us to be angered and hate each other, to destabilize the Israeli society from within. The terrorists want to see riots on the streets of Israel. Incitement and hate do not strengthen our security, but only result in fear. And we will not allow terrorists to set our policy. We will not let terrorists to tear us from within. Our best weapon against terror is our ability to stay firm. We will stand against this wave of terror as we did before in wars and intifadas. We must unite and maintain calm. Our best weapon against terrorism is unity of the State of Israel. What the terrorists are trying to destroy is the law-abiding country where law enforcement are getting our back and the quiet that they need to operate against terror.
Foreign Minister, my friend Alexander, I wish I was able to welcome you today in a way that suits a great friend of Israel such as yourself. Instead, we are meeting in a difficult and painful day. 5 people were murdered yesterday by a terrorist. The third such attack in a week. Our meeting today, like the Negev meeting, the Negev summit earlier this week, with the Secretary of State of the United States and the foreign ministers of Egypt, the UAE, Morocco, and Bahrain, is the best response for terror. Peace and friendship are the alternative to violence and chaos. We choose peace through strength. This is the choice of the strong. Our last meeting was at the Mauthausen concentration camp. There I spoke about my grandfather who perished in the camp, and you shed a tear and we hugged. A strong and a secure state of Israel is the guarantee that there will never be another Mauthausen. The guarantee that terror will not win. Your commitment to the friendship between us gives us strength in difficult times. We are meeting at a time when war is also raging in Europe. This is a reminder that if we want to achieve peace, the best way is to be strong. Weakness has never stopped war. Strength has. Our strength is built on the alliances we have and on our commitment to shared values. Israel and Austria share a deep friendship, and you and I are determined to deepen and strengthen it even further. The conversations which took place between us and between our teams will further strengthen the economic and diplomatic ties between Israel and Austria, as well as our ability to work together in the face of the situation in Europe. Thank you.
Minister Schallenberg, please. The floor is yours.
Thank you, dear Yair, dear friend. Thank you for this warm welcome. I would have wished to be able to see you in happier circumstances. And let me start by sending my strongest sentiments and condolences, heartfelt condolences, to the families, to the victims of this hideous attack. It's shocking that terrorism is again showing its ugly face. And I want you and I want the people of Israel to know that Austria stands side by side with you. That Austria feels for the people here in Israel, for your fight. And yes, we're conducting this fight together. And you said a strong and a secure Israel is the best guarantee, and I couldn't agree more. It's part of our policy to be your partner in this, and we want to see a strong and secure Israel. This is a visit with friends. This is really something where I have to say the relationships between Austria and Israel have never been better since 1948. And that's not self-evident, really not self-evident, given the historic responsibility of Austria, given our own history. And I will never forget the visit, your visit, to the concentration camp in Mauthausen, where grandfather perished, that an Israeli member of government was standing side by side with me and the Chancellor at this place is something which is extraordinary. It was a strong signal of this new bonding, of this new friendship, of this special relationship we are sharing. And we are working together to make this never forget and never again. This is our common goal in our policies. And yes, we want to enhance and strengthen our relationship. I'm already now looking forward to the visit of the Austrian Chancellor, where we will sign the strategic partnership. This is actually a strategic partnership. We have started discussing today the region, the potential in energy, the potential in cultural affairs, in science. So there's so many things where we have common interests and we can work together. I'm very happy that you mentioned the Negev Summit. And yes, you're absolutely right. We see it the same way you do. This is the best thing you can do. Building a new security structure in the region, bringing people together. And actually, I was told yesterday, having an airplane of Egypt and others sitting on the airfield in Negev is an extraordinary picture. And congratulations. And you know that on this endeavor, you can count on us too. We believe that the Abraham Accords were really a page-turner, have changed the region. This region is changing by the day, and I believe to the better. And I would hope that this development will continue in the future too. And yes, while things are hopefully moving to the right direction here, we have to face the fact that war has returned to Europe. And history shows that wars that start in Europe sometimes have the tendency of not staying in Europe. And I believe the shock waves of what is happening in Ukraine, this attack by Russia, can be felt around the globe and also in the Middle East. Thinking about oil price, thinking about wheat exports and other things. And here again, I know that we have the same approach. And I'm very thankful to you and to your government and Prime Minister that you try to establish lines of dialogue, that are trying to talk to everybody, because we need that. And I'm very thankful that for your readiness to take in refugees. And I know that the Jewish community in Austria is working together. We have, I believe, 750 Jewish refugees from Ukraine already in Austria. We will take in more. This is our neighborhood. This is our responsibility. And here you can count on our support to do whatever it needs